You said you've got Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram are the ones that I have just started to ramp up my intensity with somewhat because I'm really just launching out more or less for the first time with my social media. Although I started a year ago with the business, just kind of learning step by step. Could it take off? Would people be receptive and so forth? And so now I'm like, okay, we're going into the holidays, and I want to start
Yeah.
gaining some steam, some momentum, and really analyzing what works and what doesn't. So Facebook and Instagram right now is what I'm using. But I do have Pinterest, Twitter. I am using Twitter
Okay.
also. So yeah,
Okay.
and I don't want to be spread too thin either. So I'm looking to focus
Right.
wherever the best result is going to come from.
Well, let me pull up what's your website again?
On Etsy,
Oh, it's Etsy. Okay. What's the
I can pop a link in here.
I like going to Google Hangouts because it's a little more personal. I hate doing the one-way talking. So I love this because, and also I can record this. Right now this is broadcasting, so it's on Google Plus, I guess, or yeah, or YouTube. But I mean, I feel like it's a great way for people to help them understand what can be offered, by talking about this kind of stuff. So I hope that it's okay. I will try
No,
not to ask any too personal questions.
that's great. I'm glad that you can broadcast something like this. That's great.
So I only went down like a couple times, right? on
Oh, you only flashed out just for a minute on Facebook.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to actually be able to talk face to face. So this, I mean, have a conversation. That's great.
Right. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. There we go. Had a little wrong thing. Okay.
So I just started with my first line of items because they were the most popular ones that I had. So I went ahead and filled in, made a whole line of hair accessories, and then now I'm working on my first foundation line of jewelry.
Okay. All right, it's taking just a second to come. It's not coming up.
Not coming up?
Yeah, Sweet Life Jewelry by E.
Yeah, it came up for me, but oh wait, let me see if that's the dashboard.
Oh, it's your shops. Okay, let me just do this. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, got it. It's okay. I can just actually do this. I'll do this. I know how to find it. There we go. I'm just looking up Sweet Life.
There it is.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes, I did. I think I did. I think I favorited your shop from my Sassy Mezcla account. Okay. Yes. So I think that this is a good start. I would say that you would definitely want to be posting. I would definitely be posting so each of these products, if you have the link for each product. So maybe that's what you want to do is create like a little spreadsheet. I would be putting them into, I would definitely probably put them on Polyvore. If you get all these things, then it doesn't take as much work, right? As opposed to having to go in and click and out and click, in and click. If you just create one long list, it makes it a lot easier to drop that stuff into social.
Okay, so you're saying make a list of the links for each item? Okay, because there's a little bit of cutting in and out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, and you may be able to actually pull that. I don't remember. I haven't looked at Etsy in a while, but I think you can pull your product data. So it should actually give you maybe like a spreadsheet of all of your products, and then you could theoretically put like the link for each. So, but that will make posting to your social a lot faster.
Definitely. That's a great idea.
And so then I would consider, what is your margin that you have on all of your items? Do you know your margin?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So then you can consider that, and also know I would focus on whatever ones bring you the most attention.
Right.
And be putting those out there most likely, and also know that as you post these to your socials, you'll be able to see that in the analytics analytics, it will, give you information of like, these ones are, the most looked at. So that may also give you some idea of what to do with your long-term planning for your product, right? Because you want to put your time and energy into the ones that are going to sell. I mean, unless you really enjoy just making them, if you're looking to make an actual profit, I would really pay attention to which ones are popular and maybe even do a liquidation. And that's something that could happen towards the even as you get closer to the holiday, is if you start to see that some of them aren't getting any in traffic or way lower traffic than some, you could do a liquidation. So that way you could still tap that holiday sale.
Okay, good idea. I hadn't thought of that. Right, because I definitely want to weed out the sleepers, so to speak, and then just maximize the others, and then just keep releasing different collections seasonally, and throughout the year, and keep the ones that are hot and let the other ones go.
Exactly. And and for a handmade maker, it's actually like, you can make, and that's fine. And are you in Jane Button's group?
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, Jane Button has the Creative Product Blueprint, and she talks a lot about taking people to market and helping them create efficiency in their product plan. But the more that you're able to get to an efficiency in whatever it is that you create, you'll buy more bulk in a certain supply, and that way you won't have to like spread yourself as thin. And there's some other things that come into play with creating a really solid line, so that sometimes you don't even have to have more than like 5 particular items to be selling, and maybe even versions of those things, because it just helps you to be maximizing your efficiency.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll check that out. I'll definitely check that group out.
But yep, creative product blueprint.
Oh, okay.
And definitely getting on something like, I don't know if you've done Wickedly Chic before, but Wickedly Chic has been getting growing traction, and we've gotten a much more. So I work with Liz on Wickedly Chic, so that's why I'm saying we. But we've gotten some boost in traffic going on, and I definitely think we're going to have some really cool stuff coming up for the fall and holiday, where we're posting that stuff kind of consistently to multiple social outlets. So that's another thing that you might want to consider.
Yeah, definitely. What's the entry level advertising cost?
I think she's got like a $47 package at the moment. If you go to wickedlychic.com/advertise, there's several different packages.
Great, I will definitely consider that.
Yeah, and yeah, does that answer your questions?
Yeah, it does. Those were my general overview questions that I had that kind of helped me rein in my crazy thoughts from going, too nutty on me, like with what to do, how much to do, and where to do it, and all of that. So I guess I was using Buffer, so I'll just go ahead and stick with Buffer. But as I recall, there were a few that Buffer would not post to.
I think Buffer doesn't post to Instagram, is the only one. I think Buffer posts to, I believe it does post to Pinterest. It may be a higher level package.
Okay.
Depending, what version of the tool are you using?
I'm using the freebie version.
Yeah. So yeah, that's if you're interested in making the investment, that's obviously where those things.
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna
why
watch.
They made you invest.
Yeah, and I'm just taking steps forward to see the kind of response I'm getting. So I don't know yet when I post to Pinterest what my response is. So I do know from Instagram and Facebook I am getting some action. So.
And make sure you have a good call to action, right? That's like, check out my Etsy store, and and also consider that you may, your messaging doesn't need to necessarily always be about selling the product. Like, this is the product, this is what's for sale. Maybe it's more about, because to me, I'm feeling that like beach life. Like, it seems like you have a very strong sense of vision in why you're doing this, and especially with the beach, the sweet life jewelry. But tell a little bit about that part of it, even using images of your product, being like, these evoke the feeling of having like being on the beach with a pina colada in my hand, and these will be really great in the wintertime when you're dreaming of the sun and the whatever, and it's snowing outside, you know. So it doesn't have to be about here's the product that I made and this is what I've got and go
Yeah.
find it. It could be like about, well, I love this piece because, and usually jewelry makes you feel a thing, right?
Mhm.
That's why we buy it. It's like we don't really need jewelry, but we like it because it makes us look good, and looking good makes us feel good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I heard that it's better to try to create some curiosity about your item versus raising resistance. And I like that so much I wrote it down. So I'm like, but I still do not know all the ways that I would like to know about how to create curiosity. So I've been mulling that over in my mind on different ways to do that. So do you have any suggestions on that? Have you heard of that?
I totally have. Yeah, I mean, in theory, anytime you get okay, so think about selling in this way, right? That once upon a time there were stores, and they were, like I'm thinking like horse and buggy days, right? Like you needed some flour, you would like drive your horse and buggy up to the general store, you'd go get the flour, you'd go home, make your biscuits, right? And over time, things happen where, I mean, even back in that day, like you'd see advertisements for things in magazines, and you'd hear about it from word of mouth. Like those were the primary marketing avenues. Eventually, like into like the 50s and 60s, things like billboards and things got like a little bit even more further back. I feel like that was a way more closer personal marketing space. Whereas this is like it got more further back, and then but now with social, it's kind of bringing it back again to that level where, because even though we're like kind of in our social, like, but we go there because we're probably trying to like distract ourselves from something. So it makes sense to see something that either someone made, or even think about what posts, like as you're scrolling through, what posts caught your attention and why did you click into them?
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe make a note of like, okay, well, I clicked into this post because this made me curious. And so as you think through that stuff, you might even find in your own discovery what those answers are. I mean, I don't want to like give like too much of away because some of this is part of some of the material that I teach, but
Okay.
I think
What
through an
post?
exercise like that, you'd be able to think through like, well, what would make me, and maybe even go looking through like some other jewelry pages, like would this make me click?
Would it make me click?
Would it make me click?
Good question.
And if you can step back from your own product or your own service that you're selling, would it make me click? Like, does this resonate with me? And realizing that you are not always your ideal consumer. Your ideal consumer could be like your sister or your best friend or your grandma. I don't know. Or your cousin's uncle. I don't know. So think about who it is that you're trying to talk to. What would get them to click?
Okay.
And what do you have in common with what would make you click and what would make them click? So that way you can kind of tie in how you would tell that story.
Really great, straightforward answers, but they really require you to think about the response, right? What would get them to click?
Exactly.
Your dream client.
I feel like by asking questions in that way too, I'm not giving you a specific answer in the point that I'm like embedding that this is the be all end all. I would rather that you actually exercise theory, the theory of like communication and marketing in general, because I think once we get to that point, instead of looking at the things we know, we can see, like, I can see that this is my product, I can see that this is what I have to say about it. You'll start to get a little bit existential about it, and I think that that's where the answers lie.
Great. Well, you could really give me something to chew on.
Good.
That's awesome.
Thank you for your question, and definitely feel free if you come up across other questions or materials that you want to see in the group, or if you know anybody else too that is interested. I mean, this is not just a group about product people, or it's really about trying to educate and create connections for people who want to do business in unique ways. So we've got service people, we've got product people. So anyone who would benefit from something like that, feel free to invite them to the group.
Great. I surely
or
will.
even and or provide feedback to us privately too if there's something that you see or think we could do better.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you in the
Yay.
group tomorrow for sure.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome, and thank you.
I might stay on here for a few minutes and see if anyone pops in, but otherwise, I mean, I'm just gonna chill and hang out
Sure.
till, I don't know.
Okay, awesome. Okay, this is great. All right, talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Have a good day. Anybody else here?